Hello, ladies and gentlemen, sunshines and bloody sweethearts. Welcome to another instalment of Chuffing Big Al Chuffing Quick Shots. Stick around in for a bloody treat. Now, if you can hear some kind of ambient noise in the background, some kind of mechanical whirring and all this kind of stuff, it's Chuffing dishwasher. Now, I was going to wait until it finished his bloody cycle, but if I do a beer till Chuffing Doomsday, I'll be releasing this in about bloody 3 months' time. It's no good for man the bloody beast. So we're going to bloody crack on, see how we get on. It sounds too bad. I just won't publish it, you know what I mean? I'll just have a drink of whiskey for now. Right, we're going to be doing in a bit a review of a malt whiskey, no age statement, one that's particularly close to Big Al's heart. A bit of a favourite one of mine. Right, first, it's a bloody dog barking outside as well now. Dishwasher, dogs barking, Chuffing. I'm sure somebody outside window just farted. This is the kind of thing that you've got. You heard him? Sounds like bloody K9. James bloody Belushi. Right. A couple of days ago, me, Charlotte and bloody Charlie, we went to bloody Cosmo's, which is an all-you-can-eat, multi-faceted food buffet place in Chuffing French Gate, Doncaster. You go upstairs, and really, really good. Second or third time I've gone. Charlie was away like a flaming whippet, couldn't keep up with him. He bloody grabbing plate, there were bits of Chuffing Indian going on and bits of bloody all sorts going on, his bloody plate pizzas and all sorts of stuff. But I had 4 plates, and I would recommend going. 4 plates, start off with Chuffing Italian. I wrote it down here just to help me memory. I had Brazilian, Chinese, and I ended up with bloody Indian curry, because you don't want to have Indian curry first, because it's going to totally obliterate your flaming taste buds. You're not taste anything else. So I thought I'd save the curry till the end, and it was a Chuffing rare treat. Only thing I would say is that this was the 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock sitting, which in my experience is a little bit better. There's a bit more food on, and it's just a little bit better atmosphere. Although, like I was going to say, Charlie at one point, bless him, he's only 3 foot tall, 4 foot tall, and he was going for this last slice of bloody margarita pizza. This bloody bloke turned up, looking like an all-in flaming mud wrestler, and he suddenly barged Charlie out of the way to grab last, you know what I mean? 30-odd-year-old dude barged out Charlie out of the way to get to that last slice of pizza. I don't know what bloody world's going to, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly caused bloody World War Chuffing 3, you know what I mean? But apart from that, that is not the place's fault. That is not the staff's fault. That is the clientele's fault. And some of them are a little bit too bloody argy-bargy. You know what I mean? Right, so that was Chuffing great. Guy at work goes by the name of the Leg End, also Big T. I don't want to give you his name, just for his, you know, I don't want to like put his identity all over Chuffing YouTube, because I'm not successful with my 34 Chuffing subscribers. I don't want to do that to him. But he turned up, I went into work the other day. I had one day off, I worked it. And he turned up with these Chuffing boiled eggs. And I said, what are you doing? So he says, I've got all these bloody chickens at home and all this kind of stuff. He says, they're laying more eggs than I can bloody consume. They're coming out like Chuffing. That chicken's ass, he says, is similar to a Chuffing Gatling gun. They're like firing out like Chuffing projectiles, like warheads. So he tried to give me some, but I didn't want any. And he says, I'm on me, he's peeling this egg. He says, I'm on my Chuffing 7th one a day. I says, your 7th egg of the day? I said, you're going to get egg bound. He says, Chuffing, no. He says, yesterday, he said, I had by end of the day, he said, I'd had 10. I said, so you've eaten 17 eggs in the last day and a half? Because it's about midday, the last day and a half. I said, so are you, bloody Cool and Luke, bloody Paul Newman? I don't know about Paul Newman, it looks more like Chuffing Paul Gascoigne, but that's a different story. But 17, he's going to... And this guy, this is another reason why I'm not going to name him by name, but this guy is well known, and he's had surgery multiple times for Chuffing piles. He's going to get egg bound. He's going to be sat in there straining his Chuffing giblets out. They're going to come back. Careful on the egg front is all I'm saying. Right, let's have a look now at the particular whiskey that we're going to have a little snifter at today, ladies and gentlemen. One that's very, very close to my heart. Check it out, this bloody packaging. Da, 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 da. Chuffing Tamnavulin red wine cask edition. Now this Tamnavulin, nice distillery, they do multiple different kinds of whiskies. Somebody at the door now, knocking L's bells out at bloody front door, bloody postie or somebody. It sounds like he's trying to fit a fridge freezer through flaming letterbox. You'll have it off its bloody hinge. I don't know what's going off today, ladies and gentlemen. Right, this was the first one. They got a big range, Tamnavulin. This is the first one I ever had. This was courtesy of the missus. I was going to go for something else. I looked at this, then I started to like my attention was drawn elsewhere. She says, no, she says, give that one a go. I've got a good feeling about it. Went out in garden that afternoon, not weekend. I don't know if we had a barbecue or something. Poured me on a little glass. Bloody loved it. First ever episode of the Big Al Show. We did the Tamnavulin port finish in a blue bottle. And that's nice, and that's a new one. But I'll quickly just read a few little footnotes that I've wrote down. Sunshine and Sweet Tarts. Tamnavulin, it says, is a producer of single malt Scotch whisky. Founded in, I mean, this has gone down well with me as well. As soon as I had this, founded in Chuffy 1966. Chuffy World Cup bloody victory, baby. Chuffy Bobby Charlton, and all bloody Jeff Hurst, and all that bloody shenanigans. So that's it. Founded in 1966. Location, it's in Ballindalough, Berkshire, Scotland. It's owned by White and Mackay. So if it's owned by White and Mackay, again, it's owned by Diageo. We're always talking about Diageo. It relaunched itself in 2016 to mark the 50th anniversary of the Chuffin distillery. And I just wrote down some of the range here. This is like most of the range. May have missed one or two by accident, but in the brown case, they do the double cask. Now, the double cask is like their kind of flagship, standard, entry-level whiskey. Very nice. Starts off in, most of these, if not all of these, start off in bourbon casks and then are finished off in something else. The double cask starts off in bourbon, finishes up in sherry before you get to sup it. You've got the sherry cask, so this is pretty obvious. Starts off in bourbon, but then goes through multiple sherry casks before it gets to your nostril, your Cosa Nostra and your bloody palate and all that stuff. They've got, and then they've got the red wine series, which is what we're looking at. They've got the American Cabernet Chuffin Sauvignon, which I've had, is nice. They've got the French Cabernet Sauvignon, which I've had, which is nice. And they've got the one that I'm going to review today, the German Chuffin Pinot Noir, which for my particular preference is probably, I'd have to have the others again, and I will. Probably my favourite. It's the one that seems to kind of stand out, resonate with me. They also do a Spanish Grenache, which I've not had. They have a white wine cask one, which I have had. And they do the port finish, which we reviewed in the first ever episode. Travel editions, you have to be usually on a plane or in an airport or somewhere of this kind of duty-free type situation. They have travel editions. They've got the Tempranillo one, which my mate Mark at work got me a bottle of that, and I will be reviewing that before I chuffing sup it all, because we're starting to get down to chuffing eggs, you know me. They've got the Sauvignon Blanc, which actually confuses me slightly. I'll have to look into it a little bit, because the white wine cask edition is a Sauvignon Blanc. So whether it's slightly different or if it's basically just the same, I don't know. I'd have to look into it. And they also do a chuffing olive also. So big chuffing range. What I would say about Tamnavulin before we crack her open is consistently very, very good from bottle to bottle. It's a no age statement, so it's not going to be massively old, but it punches above its limited or young age. There's plenty of flavour. They're not harsh, not in my experience. So we'll get a chuffing cracked up and we'll get a bloody poured in. We'll have a quick chuffing snifter, and I'll tell you what I think. But I've sucked it before. So we kind of know what we're going to get. Just a little dabble. Just a little dabble. I'm going to find me chuffing wellies later on. Ended up in chuffing church font last time. Right. Left nostril, right nostril, chin, left nipple, right nipple, belly button. Yay! Let's bloody get involved. Let's see what we can find out from this bloody thing. A quick colour of it. It will. I don't know though. I say it's been coloured, but when you start agitating whiskey with sherry finishes and with red wine finishes, some of that inherently that dark, especially if they're like kind of first time you've used them, like kind of first fill ones, you could impart that kind of colour. I don't know. It doesn't speculate one way or the other. You'd think if it was natural colour and non-chill filtered and stuff like this, that they'd probably sing from the rooftops and tell you about it, because it seems to be a bit of a thing that's favoured by connoisseurs, you know what I mean? Partially, the non-chill filtration thing doesn't really bother me one way or another. It's just to stop your whiskey going cloudy when you put ice cubes in. They filtrate it and everything. A lot of your connoisseurs, they don't like the whiskey tampered with in this way. The colouring is probably a little bit more significant for me. It impresses me if that is the natural colour and that's what's come out of the cask, because you know it's had a major influence on the whiskey that way. Right, so I'll have a proper sniff. Stick my chuffing beak in. That's not my stomach, by the way. That is a chuffy dishwasher. Just so you know. I've just had a bolognese, which is probably not wise to have a garlic-laden, red wine-laden bolognese. But, you know, other week I had that bloody mackerel fillets dinner. So, you know, logically, IQ-wise, not always the chuffing best. Let's have a sniff. Very, very distinct smell. Very sweet and velvety and soft. No harshness. I could stick my nose in that all chuffing day long. I could strap the glass to my chuffing head like a chuffing dust mask. Walk around streets buying chuffing eggs and milk. It won't bother me. It won't bother me. Every now and again I'd go like that and I'd have a little chuffing slurp. Might get some funny looks. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing to do, but all I'm saying is I could stick my head in a bucket full of that and be quite happy for quite a considerable amount of chuffing time. You know what I mean? Right, so, like I say, sweet, velvety, moreish. You want to keep, it's one of those ones where you want to keep, in between sips, you want to keep on having the chuffing snow, you know what I mean? Happy as a pig in bloody swill I'd be with this. Right, on the palate, let's have a little sip. For me, quite possibly one of the top 4 or 5 entry level whiskies out there. I don't mean entry level as an insult, because quite a lot of the time I'd rather drink these kind of whiskies to the really, really expensive stuff. He's got everything. He's got great smell, a great chuffing flavour, smooth as silk. If you want to put water in it or a mixer, do it, but it's not necessary. It's not going to burn your chuffing larynx out or anything like that. Very, very nice, beautiful, tasty little chuffing drop. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I recommend all the range. I've had the double cask. I've had the 3 different kind of wine finishes. This one, the German, the French and the American. I've had the port. I've had the sherry. I've had the Sauvignon Blanc. I've had the Tempranillo. All of them, all good, all different as well. You know, I remember one time, just a very, very, very quick little anecdote before I weren't going to say this, but it just come to my mind because of my previous statement, which often happens on the chuffing big out, quick shots and shows and what have you. Me and chuffing Zeno and I Scout one time, we went to chuffing this curry house in Buggy Workshop. And we ordered what should have been, you can see where this is going, what should have been 3 very, very varied, 3 very distinctly different chuffing curries. They might have been same meat. They might have all been chicken, I don't know, but that was the only similarity. If you read the list of ingredients and what it were meant to do, on chuffing sin, they should have tasted, should have looked very, very different. Plate comes out, and I'm looking. I never said out at first because I didn't want to be a chuffing killjoy, you know what I mean? But I'm looking, I'm thinking, it's like the same flaming dish to me, same bloody colour, same consistency, same vibe. And then the chuffing. And we started to look at each other like one of them bloody Sergio Leone bloody westerns, like spaghetti western with bloody Eli Wallach and Clint Eastwood and chuffing Lee Van Cleef, just bloody gawping at each other. Chuffing tumbleweed went past. It might have been a chuffing naan bread, I don't know, but something went rolling past it, bloody background. Poppadom or something. And I don't know who said it, who broke the chuffing verbal chuffing gridlock, but somebody said, would you mind? I don't see this as well. Can I have a little taste of your chuffing curry? Might have been Zeno. Went in. It tastes the same. Can I taste yours, Scott? Yeah. And then we all did it. They all tasted bloody same. So what I'm saying is, the Tamnavulin range, all those different additions, it has an house feel because it's all made under one roof. A lot of this with probably the bourbon barrels are probably the same bourbon barrels. So it's got a signature style, like an Eric Clapton solo. You can tell an Eric Clapton solo, you can tell a Jimmy Page solo, you can tell a Jimi Hendrix solo. Style. It's got a certain style, but all the different editions, different. Get your chuffing wallet or your flaming purse or whatever you've got out your chuffing pocket. Flop out a couple of chuffing notes or your card or a bit of shrapnel. Get some of this chuffing bought. Tamnavulin. Pinot Noir, red wine edition. It's known as number 3. Okay, see you later, sunshines and sweethearts.